Hi guys, welcome to Yoga for Villains. Happy Halloween. When you're ready, villains, let's start at the top of our mat because we don't chill on the floor when we're villains. We're always active, we're always plotting and scheming. So let's start at the top of our mat. Try to have your feet equal distance and situate yourself here. Broaden up your chest because as villains, we are strong, we are powerful, we don't let anyone get in our way. Then we're going to reach the arms up with an inhale. Exhale, bring it to heart center. And then inhale up. And then we're going to forward fold down. Hang here for a moment first. Then we're going to halfway lift. You can have your fingers on your shins, on the floor, or on your thighs. And then we're going to come down and go back into plank. So step each foot back one at a time. Hold strong. Remind yourself of your evil plans, of how you're going to beat the hero of the story, the protagonist. And then we're going to twist our feet over so that they're pointing to the left, our toes are pointing to the left, and we're rolling onto our right arm. And bring our left arm up in the air. Try to raise the hips. Deep breaths. And then we're going to go back into our plank and then over on the other side. So our toes go to the right. We're leaning on the left hand and the right arm goes up. And we're pressing the hips up. Then I'll meet you back in plank, and then we're going to go into downward facing dog. Oh, there goes my gun. So whilst we're in the down dog, I want you to think about the villains of your story. We're all writers, we're all novelists. Who's the bad guy in our story, and why are they the bad guy? I've, in recent years, put a lot of energy into my villains because I know that they're actually the most fascinating character in the story. Or at least they should be. Because our villains need to be just as fleshed out as our main characters, because our villains are main characters, you know. There would be no hero if there wasn't some force to fight against, right? So think about your villain for a moment. Then we're gonna lift our right leg up. Ground down on the left foot. Hold here for a moment. And then we're going to bring our knee to nose, rounding our shoulders, tucking in our abs, and then back into one-legged downward dog. And then bring your foot forward again. And this time we're going to go up into a high lunge. So really sink down with this high lunge, arms up and overhead, or you're going to have them at the waist if that feels more secure for you. And I want you to think of your favourite stories, whether they're books, films, TV shows, games. Think of your favourite stories and wonder for a moment why they were so good. What did the villains do that made them unique, that made them stand out? I found it really useful to think about villains that work well. So take a moment to think about that. As we turn into Warrior 2, so we're opening out the hip, the back foot goes at a diagonal. Keep the front knee, the right knee bent. Deep breaths. Arms out. There is power in our breath. There is strength in our breath. And then we're going to flip the front palm, reach forward, and then go back. So you can either have your left arm, left hand down the left leg, or you can wrap it behind you as we go back into Peaceful Warrior. Even though our villains are anything but peaceful. Keep strong legs. And I'm going to cartwheel down to frame our front foot. Stretch here in a low lunge for a moment. And we're going to twist. So left arm stays down, right arm up as we twist to the right. Perfect, and then bring the right arm back down, step the right leg back. And if you feel able and strong, you can lift the right leg as we come down into Chaturanga. So we're going to go down to the floor and then up into Cobra. You can roll out the neck. Keep thinking of your own power and thinking about your character's power. What makes your villain strong? What motivates your villain? That is such an amazing question to ask yourself again and again and again throughout writing the story. Why do they want what they want? Why don't they want the hero to succeed? Why are they against a hero? I think the worst villains are ones that are bad to be bad. Oh, I'm just evil. I want to take over the world. There's got to be a reason why they want to do that. And so you have to think about their backstory, how they've been brought up or how they've been wronged, you know, what led them to this situation. Okay, then we curl the toes under and go back into downward dog. Then we're going to lift the left leg up and ground down on the right leg. And then bring knee to nose. Really claw through your fingers to be able to do this. And then back up. And then bring the leg into a high lunge. So left leg forward this time, right leg back. Really push down. Again, arms up overhead or at the waist if that feels more stable. Remember to keep your chest broad, proud. You're blindly looking at your North Star, what you want to achieve as the villain of the story. Because I think it's really interesting to think that like the villain is the hero of their own story, right? They believe that what they're doing is right or just or needed. They think they're doing what no one else is willing to do, but everybody wants to do. And that's really powerful. Okay, and then we're going to frame the front foot. You can shift back and forward a little bit here. And then we're going to twist to the left. So left arm up. Really extend, try and make your shoulder blades meet. Okay, and then we're going to come back to that one-legged plank. If you did it the first time, maybe you want to try it this time. And then come down to our bellies. This time we're not going to go into a cobra. Instead, put your arms to the sides. Take a deep breath. And then we're going to lift the legs and then the arms to come into Shalabhasana, our locust pose. Feel your power, feel your villainy. Soar through the sky. Maybe you write fantasy, you write magical stories. pretend you're able to fly, and then come back down. We're going to push back to kneeling. I'll come to the centre of the mat. We're going to come into a camel pose. Just adjusting my trusty belt. So, in camel, we've got to really tense and engage the front body. So we don't want to splay forward too much because that'll hurt our lower back. We don't want to push the pelvis all the way out, but we do want to engage, okay? So firstly, we're going to put our hands on our lower back, push out the chest, and then lean back. So we're engaging our quads. Our quads are doing a lot of work in this pose. So if you have any injuries, please be careful. So engage your quads as you lean back. You can put your head back if that feels comfortable. And if you'd like, you can curl the toes under and reach back for your heels. The last thing I'll get you to think about is, in what ways does your villain believe something that is completely not true? And why do they believe that? That by the end of the story, or maybe in the climax of the story, can they learn that they were wrong all along by confronting something that makes them see the truth? Okay, slowly come out, hands at the lower back. Go back forwards, and then we'll do a counter pose. So we'll do bunny or rabbit. So crown of the head comes down to the mat, and we reach back for our heels and push forwards. You should feel this in your shoulders and in your lower back. Okay, and then we'll come to a seat. So that was our practice for all of you villains out there. I wanted this to be a fun little yoga flow for Halloween, but also for the series where I'm doing different members of like the different characters in your story, and trying to inspire you to think of them in new ways, and trying to like world build and novel build and plot build together while stretching. So I hope you found this fun, and I hope that you have a really spectacular Halloween and going into the spooky October season. It's always fun for me. It always inspires my fantasy writing especially, so I hope that's the same for you. And yeah, that's it. Thank you for practicing with me in these early stages as I'm trying to find my feet as a yoga teacher, and let me know what you're writing. Let me know what you've learned from this video, and I hope to see you again soon. Namaste and happy writing.